Hi everyone, this is lesson number 3 from class 11, Discovering Tut, the Saga continues. This is an article on Tut. He was the last teenage pharaoh from Egypt, and this is his saga. Saga means a very long story or a sequence of events. And this story is not over, it is going on. So actually, discovery about Tut is going on. This is what the title means. And here are some events given about his discovery. Archaeologists as well as professors are still working on his body and trying to find out reasons of his death. Now, who was Tut? Let's find out. He was the last teenage pharaoh. Pharaoh means king in Egypt. His mummy or his tomb was discovered in 1922 by Howard Carter. This discovery was a sensation at that time because his tomb had richest royal collection. So it had collars, necklace, bracelets, amulets, aprons, sandal, mask, and it also had everyday things like board game, bronze razor, undergarments, food, wine, whatever he might need in the next life was also buried with him. And this discovery became a sensation because the top of his mummy was covered with pure gold. So the whole top was made up of gold. And that is why this discovery was a sensation in 1922. If we look at the history of Tut, his full name is Tutankhamun. If you look at his history, then his father or his grandfather was Amenhotep III. He was a very powerful pharaoh. He ruled for around 40 years. After him came Amenhotep IV. It was a very strange period in the history of Egypt. He shifted his capital from Thebes to Akhenaten because he worshipped this god Aten. He was a worshipper of sun disk. And that is why, because he was such a strong worshipper, he changed his name to Akhenaten. And this is the most weird period in the history of Egypt. Then after him, for a very short time, Smenkhkare became the pharaoh, and he passed without any significance. And then came Tutankhaten or Tut, a very prominent figure in Egypt. He changed his name to Tutankhamun because he believed in Amun again, like his father or his grandfather. His name means the living image of Amun, and he ruled for around 9 years, and he died very unexpectedly. Now Carter, when he discovered this tomb, he recorded the whole treasury which he found along with the tomb and kept a record of all the things. And then when he started looking at the coffins, he found 3 coffins in the same tomb. He opened the first one, and inside he found the mummy of Tutankhamun or Tut. There were flowers inside, which tells us that Tut died in March or in the month of April. When Tut was found, the main problem that Carter faced was that his resin has hardened. That means the bandages that were there around the mummy, it has hardened and it has stuck to the bottom of the coffin. So that is the problem Carter faced, and in order to solve that problem, he kept the mummy in sun at 149 degree Fahrenheit, and he did a lot of damage to the body because he chiseled the bottom in order to remove the mummy. He damaged almost every joint of the mummy, and later on he kept that mummy in a wooden box, not in the same gold box. Otherwise thieves would have come and they would have taken the gold, they would have ripped the gold out of that mummy. So that is why he kept it in a wooden box. In 1968, only an X-ray was done on the body of Tut by a professor, and then they found out that his breastbone and his ribs were missing. This became a mystery. His body became a mystery because there were no breastbones and ribs. So they wanted to find out the answer of 2 main questions. And that is why Zahi Abbas, who is the Secretary General of Egypt's Supreme Council, he wanted to do a CT scan. He wanted to create almost 1700 digital X-ray images in cross section. That means they wanted to make a 3D model or 3D picture of Tutankhamun or Tut. And he wanted to answer two main questions raised by this X-ray. How he died, that's the first question, and how old was he? So these are the two questions he wanted to answer. This was also the first mummy to be scanned out of the mummies they have discovered, and there are lot many mummies still to be discovered. On 5th January 2005, around 6 p.m. in the evening, they brought Tut's body out of the wooden box, and through a hydraulic lift they brought it to the trailer where the CT scanner was kept. But after 20 minutes the cooler stopped working because there was a lot of sand in it, so they brought two fans, and somebody among those people who were working on this said that this is the curse of the pharaoh. These Egyptians, whenever they would bury a mummy, they would put a curse on anyone who would take that body out or do something to the body. But after 3 hours, finally they did the scan, body was kept back, and now they had 3D image formed of Tut. And looking at the body and finding out the details of the body, they can get a lot of information and they can add a lot of things to the discovery of Tut. And Zahi Abbas, he was finally relaxed when this was done, body was kept back. And this story doesn't end here. The saga continues because there are a lot many things still to be discovered about him. I hope you like the explanation. Thank you for your love and support. Keep watching Learn English with Rajni Dua. Thank you.